Hello. All right, today I want you guys to get started on the next step, part 2 of your printmaking process. So last time we started to make some radial symmetry designs, and you should have made 4 of them. Okay, if you didn't finish that, do that right away today. Okay, so get your 4 done. Then I want you to select your best one, and it's totally fine if you guys want to take a minute or so to turn and talk to people at your table and ask their opinion. If you're having a hard time deciding what's your best, ask them and say, hey, which one do you think is the best and why? Okay, so I am actually going to select this one for mine, and since you all are not here, I can't turn and talk and ask you which one you think, but I'm going to pick this one. Okay, and then what you do, there's scissors at your table, so grab them out of the basket, and let's see, I think I'm going to flip my paper over because I can just see the creases a little bit better. On this side, I see a lot of the design, and it's kind of distracting to my eye. So I'm going to flip it over where I can see the line a little bit better, that crease, and I'm just going to cut nice and slow because you don't want to cut any of your design off. Okay. And then let's see here. Okay, so then you'll have your 3 that you don't want, but keep them just in case you want to try this activity at home. You can always use them. Okay, then you will come up to the front table and get a square piece of this styrofoam printmaking foam. Okay, and then there'll be little tape dispensers. You only need 1 piece of tape, okay, because you're only going to tape just on one edge. So I'm going to line this up as best as I can. The paper is just slightly bigger, but not bad, okay, and I'm just going to put the tape halfway on the paper. Let me get really close so you guys can see. Halfway on the paper like that, and then I want to kind of wrap it around to the back, so then it also is halfway onto my printmaking foam. Okay, then at the front table where you found the tape, that's where you're also going to find some ballpoint pens. Ballpoint pens work really great for this. You can also use a dull pencil if you're going to try this activity at home. You can use a dull pencil. The reason we don't want anything sharp is when you trace over your design in a minute, if you have a tool that's really sharp, like a sharp pencil, then it's going to poke through your printmaking foam, okay? And we don't want to poke through it. We just want to transfer this design and make some grooves into your printmaking foam, okay? I like to use a pen because then I know what I traced over and what I didn't. So all you're going to do is you start to trace over every single line in your design. And see how I'm not just going like this and going like this and doing like the next one and the next one, because I'm kind of going back and forth like this and really making sure that I pushed that line into the foam, okay? Now, how much pressure you use, I wish that I could show you like how my muscles are working, but I can't. So when you do this, you're just gonna have to kind of feel for yourself. You want to be, it's kind of like Goldilocks. You want it just right. You don't want to push too hard that it goes through, and you don't want to push too softly that you don't feel the ballpoint pen pushing into the foam, okay? So you've got to find that right amount of pressure, and when you're doing this, you'll start to feel it. You'll know, okay? Now, I know a lot of students want to see what they're doing, so a lot of students, this is why we use the tape. They always want to check it and be like, oh, am I doing it right? So if you want to check early in the beginning, if you're pushing down and you have the right amount of pressure, that would be okay. But once you start getting all of this traced over with your ballpoint pen, stop flipping it back and forth, because sometimes when you put it back, it might be a little bit off. Even though you have it taped on there, it might not line up exactly right again. And then you're going to have kind of a blurry image when you do your printmaking, okay? We don't want to have a blurry image. We want these lines to line up exactly right. Now that I've figured out the pressure, I don't have to keep flipping my paper over to check it. I can feel it with the ballpoint pen that it's transferring, that my design is being pushed into the foam. You'll be able to feel it, okay? And so I'm gonna turn the camera off here in a second because I have a lot to do. And I'm gonna keep going over all of my stuff. See, even the shape, if I just traced it one time like that, I don't really know if it transferred into the foam very well. So take your time with each shape. And it's okay if you go over it maybe one or two or three times, I should say. Okay, I want to make sure those lines are really nice and ensure that they're pushed into the foam. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to finish my design, and I want you guys to finish this at your spots. And then once we get this all completed as a class, then we'll come back and we'll meet on the rug again, and I will show you guys part 3 on how we're going to start to add some color. Okay, so have fun, figure out the right amount of pressure. I know you guys can do this and it will look really cool.